Well, good morning. Once again, it's the next morning. And you're probably wondering, why do I have a different sander set up? Why am I not using my edge sander like I did to take the sides down? Well, it's because I want to be able to use this disc. And it'll do a lot better job at rounding over the edges, at least for the way I do it. And this sander will also sand something flush, if I'm careful. It's a little harder to hold, but it still works. And that's what we're going to do first. We're going to sand the aspen so that it's going to be flush with the monkey wood. And you can see that it's raised probably a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a little more. Won't take very much. This aspen is very, very soft. And this one here is 80 grit. So it'll take it down pretty fast. And once it's flush, then I'm going to put on my 120 grit belt and just sort of smooth it out a bit. Maybe run it along the sides, just smooth it down just slightly. Because I think the belt that was on my edge sander was 100 grit. So the 120 might just make it a little bit smoother. Then I'll do the orbital hand sander thing and finish up all the edges. Well, I'm going to route over the sharp edges here with the router, sort of a quarter round type thing. At least that's the plan. And yeah, well, let's get at it and see how it's going to go. Now I'm glad I thought to check here, because I had assumed that I was at right angles here from the last time I used this, but it must have got moved a little bit. So, like with the edge sander, got to make sure it's square. Maybe just a smidge more yet. Well, that's close enough. Well, I think we've about done it for this coarse sandpaper. Now, the reason that this one piece was kind of burning here, I don't know if you noticed that. I think it was on this side right here. It was kind of burning when I was pushing it in there. This particular belt is loaded with glue, and so it's not quite as effective as it could be. And that's probably another reason why it was taking so long to get through this soft aspen. I don't know. I'm cheap, I guess. I didn't want to put on a new belt, but I should have. Okay, if you've got a machine, same make and model as this, you're going to notice something different. Mine has knobs here, and I'll show you why. Now on the top, General had knobs like this, only a little bit smaller, and it made it real quick and easy to get the cover off. But the bottom, it was different. You had to take bolts out like these, and you had to take them right out. So what I did was, I put these in. I had to re-tap it so that it would fit the thread for these. And then I just cut this out. Now it's really fast. I don't know why General didn't think of that. You know, it's okay for somebody who hardly ever changes their belts like I do, but you know, this thing will be used in a shop where they're changing the belts every day. So, and another thing, you got to make sure that the arrows are going in the same direction as the belt is going. But I think you all know that. Now, see how much easier that is than having to take out 2 bolts completely and then try and get them back in again? Anyway. Maybe the designers at General are going to watch this video and change their next models coming out. I don't know. So, we're pretty much ready to go here. All I got to do is just check the tracking now. Now there's been a slight change in plans. I'm still going to do the face of it here, the front, but I'm not going to bother with the sides. Because I was thinking, why not, as long as I'm going to slightly round over the top, why not just have it come in just a little bit here and then back out? You know, just sort of like this. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? And give it a little bit more of a pizzazz or something. Anyway, that's the plan. So anyway, here we go. Now you may remember I was talking about how that the dark sawdust from the monkey wood get into the light aspen. Don't know if you can see it. Now mind you, I have also found from experience that I can get a lot of that out if I sort of brush it with a fine toothbrush and also use a high pressure nozzle, air nozzle. It seems to sometimes work. I guess we'll know soon. Now as it turns out, this little funnel is pretty much the right radius that I'm looking for to get these corners rounded. And, well, it could be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I was thinking of using a compass, but then, of course, the compass would make a little hole there. And then I'd have to sand it way down again, so I'm going to get this just centered. I'm centering it on here. Not so it's flat up, flush up here. I want it centered there, so I know it might not look quite right, but I kind of know what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Now I'll just move it over the other way. Try and keep it centered. Do the same thing again. Now the reason I went in here is because I'm planning on going, you know, curving it in like this. You'll see. Now I should be able to see that. Now naturally I can't go in too far or I'll be into the box. But I've got about, you know, I can go in a ways. Probably half the distance between here and there, so I'll be able to go in a bit. Anyway, we'll give it a whirl. Hope I'm not going to wreck this now. Now this is of course just the first rough preliminary sanding. I might be taking those corners down just a little bit more, but I won't know for sure until I give it that old-fashioned Coke bottle look. Anyway, thank you for watching.